How's it going, guys? Mountain Man Militia here. You know, it's been a long time since you and I have done a interactive video, so I figured today would be a good day. I'm out here with my new build. This is a 280 Ackley improved. We'll go tip to butt, Grand Thumb style. This is a 22-inch Excalibur barrel, 1 1/8 twist, chambered in, 280 Ackley improved, or 280 AI as it's affectionately called. This is an MDT LSS XL chassis, PMAG in there. This is a Savage action with a trigger, is it Trigger Tech? No, it's not Trigger Tech. It's a Rifle Basics Sav 1 trigger. MDT vertical grip, just a cheap AR stock. I was trying to shorten this space up a little bit because the stock I had on here originally was about 2 inches longer and I couldn't get a good view through the scope. And this scope is a Vortex Venom 3.5 to 15, or not 3.5, I'm sorry, 3 to 15 by 44, 34 millimeter tube, sitting in a DNZ Game Reaper mount. That is my favorite mount for scopes. It's on all my rifles pretty much. Just a one-piece mount, screws directly into the receiver. You can get them in a 20 MOA if you want. I usually just get them flat because I don't really shoot that far. Farthest I've ever shot is about 1,400 yards, and most of the time I can work up a load that'll reach out that far with modern scopes. So 280 Ackley improved. A lot of you guys, if you know what a 280 AI is, are like, oh, that's a good gun. Some of you are going, what the hell is a 280 Ackley improved? If you take a 30-06 and you neck it down to 7 millimeter, you have what's called a 280 Remington. If you take the 280 Remington and you Ackley improve it, i.e. remove some of the body taper from the case and give it a sharp 40-degree shoulder, that is called a 280 Ackley improved. What that does is it does two things. One, it increases the case capacity a little bit because you're bumping that shoulder from this to about that. Makes more space within the case for powder. The second thing it does is it makes it to where when you're reloading, you don't have to trim the brass as much because that case isn't as flowy, so to say. When you fire it, it doesn't stretch as much. So it's nice for having to skip a step reloading every now and then. That was a long-winded way of saying that the 280 Ackley improved is basically just a modified version of a 30-06 with a 7mm bullet. 30-06 is probably my personal favorite hunting cartridge. I've been hunting with it for a very long time. I killed a black bear this past year with the 30-06. That was with a 180 grain interlock. Very classic loading for a 30-06. I shot that bear at about 60 yards, broadside. Bear didn't take another step. Straight down into the dirt, face down. It was beautiful. Another good variation of 30-06 is 35 Whelen, a cartridge that I've recently gotten into as well. I picked up a CVA Scout single shot in 35 Whelen, 22-inch barrel. Nice little compact gun. It's a single shot break open, so you don't have an action behind that 22-inch barrel. So it's like carrying around an 18-inch barrel. It's very, very handy. I shot my blacktail deer buck with that this past year. That was at about 40 yards. It's fairly thick timber around here. A lot of times you catch animals in the timber. And that was with a 200 grain TTSX. Both of those, the 30-06 with the 180 and the 35 with the 200, were 2,700 or just over. So this, I'm working up a hand load for today, which I'm going to show you guys. I'm using the 175 grain ELD-X. I usually like to use Barnes bullets recently, but they don't really have a bullet that I'm looking for that has a really high BC for shooting 500, 600, 800, 1,000 yards. You can do it, but you're going to limit yourself on your maximum range depending on what the BC of your bullet is. So we're going with the 175 grain ELD-X. I am using Peterson brass, not Lapua. I am using CCI BR2 primers and H1000. So we're going to be working up to a somewhat max load there. Stay tuned. All right, guys, got the Athlon Rangecraft up, ready to go. And we're at 50 yards. I usually zero my hunting rifles at 50 yards. So let's send the first round down range. This is 57.5 grains of H1000 with a 175 grain ELDX loaded to 3.340. I'm sorry, 26.57. $26.30. $26.35. No pressure signs. Our average is 26.41 with an SD of 11.5. All right, next up we have 58 grains. $27.09. $26.63. $27.04. Those three are in one hole. SD of 20, so that's not great, but it's starting to group, so that's good. Okay, now we got 58.5 grains. Still no pressure signs with the 58. $26.93. $26.95. $26.84. SD of 4.6. Solid. I think that third one I yanked it a little bit to the left, but I think that group's more on me. We're gonna let the barrel cool and we'll be right back. All right, 59 grains. This is a max load according to Hodgdon. According to Nosler, the max load is 61 grains. So from here on out, we're taking it very slow. Very slow. $27.13. Short stroked it. $26.98. 2728. So that's a SD of 11.9. Average of 2713. Okay, 59.5. $27.50. $27.52. $27.73. And that was the second best group of the day. SD of 10.2. How are these looking? No cratering, no ejector swipes. I think we could stand to go up just a little bit more, but shall have to wait for another day. At 59.5 grains, we are getting a 10.2 SD with an average of 27.58. There will have to be a part 2. Stand by.